Hello, everyone. Some faces in history seem to pause time, not just for their talent, but for the rare beauty and presence they carried. From the thoughtful gaze of a writer, the elegance of a film star, to the regal bearing of noblemen like Fitzgerald, Nollo, and Cary Grant, these timeless figures shaped the aesthetic soul of their eras. Using official historical sources, advanced restoration software, and cutting-edge AI technology, these faces have been vividly brought back to life. Now sit back, relax, and experience their beauty through this video. John Wilkes Booth, 1838–1865. The darkly handsome American stage actor with sculpted features, smoldering eyes, and the magnetism of a tragic idol. Once the most celebrated actor of his time, he turned theater into nightmare by assassinating President Abraham Lincoln mid-performance. Was he a twisted patriot or a deluded murderer? Booth's name remains a searing wound in American history, etched in blood, brilliance, and betrayal. Errol Flynn, 1909–1959. The Australian actor with sleek hair, a dashing mustache, and a defiant smile became the iconic image of the swashbuckling gentleman on screen. He was the quintessential Robin Hood, the adventurous swordsman of 1930s and 40s Hollywood, handsome, charismatic, and full of flair. Flynn captivated audiences not only with his roles, but also with a wild lifestyle that turned him into a legend, both dazzling and scandalous. Sergei Asanin, 1895–1925. A young Russian artist with heartbreakingly delicate features, a high-bridged nose, soft lines, and eyes that seemed to carry a quiet sorrow. His beauty entwined with a rebellious soul created a persona both alluring and elusive surrounded by debate. Was he a gifted poet or a disillusioned rebel? Stormy romances, intensely emotional verses, and his sudden death at 30 remain an enduring mystery, leaving the world both enchanted and uncertain. Wacław Nijiński, 1889–1950. The Polish ballet genius with a weightless frame, dark abyssal eyes, and a face drawn tight as if dancing to inner music, crowned the god of dance with the ballet ruse. He stunned Europe with surreal leaps and bold, sensual choreography. But his fragile mind shattered at 29. Nijiński remains the blazing symbol of dance, sublime, radical, and utterly alone. Henry Ainley, 1879–1945. The British stage star with striking looks, a high forehead, and noble, penetrating eyes. His velvet-like deep voice captivated Edwardian audiences. Yet behind the spotlight were scandalous affairs and a bitter fall into bankruptcy. Was he a revered genius or a self-destructive artist? Henry Ainley remains a theatrical legend, brilliant, controversial, and endlessly fascinating. William Montgomery McGovern, 1897–1964. An American scholar with thick black hair, a distinctive full beard, and eyes sharp as a blade. He once disguised himself as a monk to infiltrate Lhasa. He served as an intelligence officer during World War II and later taught philosophy at Northwestern University. With the look of a warrior scholar, McGovern embodied boundless intellect and fearless action. A life so extraordinary it blurs the line between biography and legend. Percy Aldridge Granger, 1882–1961. The Australian musical genius with tousled blonde hair, chiseled features like a classical statue, and eyes that burned with wild light. His rugged handsomeness made him a romantic figure shrouded in controversy. Beneath his haunting folk melodies lay a deeply eccentric soul obsessed with pain, extremes, and radical ideals. Granger remains an undefinable artist. The deeper you look, the more elusive he becomes. Prince Wilhelm of Sweden, 1884–1965. The romantic prince with sunlit blonde hair, deep blue eyes filled with sorrow, and a smile that charmed and mystified. A royal ideal on the surface. He turned away from power to live as an artist, writing, photographing, and cherishing solitude over ceremony. His unconventional loves and quiet soul made him a figure of elegance and enigma, like a royal ballad that ends without a final note. Francis Scott Fitzgerald, 1896–1940. The elegant American writer with delicate features, dreamy blue eyes, and a wistful smile laced with longing. A dazzling icon of the jazz age, he radiated youthful charm and tragic brilliance. Yet behind the refined exterior lay a storm: chronic alcoholism, a turbulent marriage to Zelda, and financial ruin. The Great Gatsby became both his legacy and his inescapable fate, haunting generations with its beauty and sorrow. Buster Crabbe, 1908–1983, American Olympic gold medalist in swimming with a powerful physique and a summer-like smile, wide, radiant, and unstoppable. His face seemed sculpted from heroic myth, with ocean-bright eyes that lit up the screen. On film, he became Tarzan, Flash Gordon, and Buck Rogers, immortal icons of adventure. Crabbe was the muscular knight in cinematic armor, a living embodiment of childhood dreams for an entire generation. Ivor Novello, 1893–1951. The Welsh virtuoso with sculpted features, silk-like eyes, and a natural grace that made him seem born to be seen, a West End legend, and author of the wartime anthem, "Keep the Home Fires Burning." Noel also shocked the public with a fuel fraud conviction and a discreet, enigmatic gay love life. A dazzling icon wrapped in charm and scandal, forever suspended between admiration and intrigue. Fernando de Orleans, 1844–1910. The Prince of Mounier with classic aristocratic beauty, a proud aquiline nose, blazing blue eyes, and the charm of a gallant swordsman. Though born of both French and Spanish royal blood, he was cast out by Madrid, fought for France, and lived lavishly in Paris amid scandalous affairs. Was he a prince warrior or a fallen exile? His life remains a paradox, captivating, controversial, and steeped in royal tragedy. Eric Liddell, 1902–1945. The Scottish track and field athlete with wheat blonde hair, deep blue eyes, and a lean, noble frame. At the 1924 Olympics, he refused to run the 100 meters on a Sunday, then stunned the world by winning gold in the 400 meters. His victory, a triumph of faith. Turning his back on fame, Liddell became a missionary in China and died in a Japanese internment camp. His life remains a timeless testament to conviction and sacrifice. Prince Philip, 1921–2021. The British royal consort with angular features, high cheekbones, steel blue eyes, and an unmistakable air of nobility. In his youth, he stood out with classic good looks and commanding poise. A decorated naval officer and the steadfast companion of Queen Elizabeth II for 70 years. He also drew controversy for racially insensitive remarks and rumored affairs. A royal gentleman, cool, magnetic, and forever defined by contradiction. Peter Jackson, 1861–1901. The Black Prince of boxing with a sculpted physique, calm gaze, and a gentle smile that masked devastating power. The finest black fighter of the 19th century, he was barred from the world title. Because of his race, forced into sideshows to survive. From rising star to alcoholic decline, he died alone in an asylum. A gentleman of iron, his tragic legacy still haunts the history of racial injustice in sport. Cary Grant, 1901–1986 British screen legend. With a face sculpted like a god, a signature cleft chin and sharp brown eyes that radiated both warmth and mystery, he embodied the Hollywood gentleman. Suave, witty, dangerously charming. Yet behind the silver screen sheen lay a troubled life, an abandoned childhood, 5 failed marriages, LSD experiments, and quiet loneliness. A dazzling legend forever elegant, forever out of reach. John Gilbert, 1899–1936. Hollywood's prince of romance with soulful brown eyes, chiseled beauty, and tousled hair that exuded deadly charm. The most dazzling silent film idol, he lit up the screen beside Greta Garbo in Flesh and the Devil, but a high-pitched voice. Studio feuds with MGM and Heartbreak ended his reign. Gilbert's fall was swift, painful, and poetic. A legend of love, brilliance, and ruin. Senior Seretse Khama, 1921–1980. The king turned president of Botswana with calm eyes, intellectual grace, and a regal bearing that radiated natural leadership. His marriage to Ruth Williams, a white Englishwoman during the height of racial segregation, sparked international uproar, costing him his throne and forcing exile. Yet he returned to lead Botswana as its first president, transforming it from poverty into an African success story. A refined, resolute figure forever admired and still debated. Charles Farrell, 1900–1990. Hollywood's golden boy with sun-kissed hair, a strong jawline, and a radiant smile like California sunshine. A romantic icon of the 1920s, he starred opposite Janet Gaynor in Seventh Heaven and 21 other beloved films. Then he quietly stepped away from the spotlight, helping transform Palm Springs into an entertainment haven. Was he a silver screen prince or a visionary behind the scenes? Farrell's legacy still stirs admiration and surprise across generations. Gustav Mahler, 1860–1911. Austrian composer and conductor with angular features, unruly hair, and eyes that held a quiet, emotional storm. His music surged like a soul, singing itself, intense, expansive, and shadowed by foreboding. Mahler was both a master of orchestral worlds and a spirit torn between faith, love, and fear. There was a thundercloud behind his gaze, restless, raw, and silently aching. A genius never at peace, whose brilliance still stirs the soul. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and hit subscribe, so you won't miss our next exciting content.